Hey guys, it is not Chef Ryan. Today I'm back with another video. I've got a special edition of Cooking with Not Chef Ryan today. I'm going to show you two wonderful and I guess we could say delicious recipes. The first is the key to unlocking a girl's heart. The second, creme brulee. Let's get into the kitchen. You'll seriously get some love if you make this recipe. Come on. He's a little overweight. He likes to eat. He's not a chef. He's not Chef Ryan. Okay, so I've heard creme brulee referred to as the little black dress of all desserts, and I guess that's because it's so simple yet so sexy and elegant. It's very easy to make too. All you're going to need to make your creme brulee is some heavy cream, dark brown sugar, 3 eggs, some white sugar, and a little bit of vanilla. Now if you prefer to use a vanilla bean, you can do that as well, but here we like to keep it simple, so we're just going to stick with this today. Okay, so the hardware you're going to need to make your creme brulee is 2 small cooking pots, wire whisk, rubber spatula, a mixing bowl, 2 1/2-inch ramekins, an 11 by 7-inch Pyrex, and I've got a cooking torch here. You can use just about any kind of torch. You can pick these up at anywhere that sell kitchen supplies, even a hardware store. I highly recommend picking one up. If you don't have this, you can use the broiler on your oven, but it doesn't really come out the same. We're going for a real velvety, smooth, cold custard with kind of a hot and caramelized top that's crispy. And I think you achieve that a lot better if you use a torch instead of your broiler. Okay, so I've measured 1 cup of heavy cream here, and I've got this on medium heat. And we're just going to cook this and kind of stir it until you just start to see it barely boil. And then as soon as you see that, you want to remove that from the heat immediately. Now on the other side here, I've got a pot of water, which I'm getting warm to boil. We're going to use that in just a second for our double broiler. As you can see also, I've got my oven preheated to 300 degrees. Okay, so I've separated 3 egg yolks from the whites, and I've added just the yolks to this container here. I'm going to add the equivalent of 2.5 tablespoons of white sugar and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And we're going to beat this until it becomes creamy, just like that. Okay, so I've got all of this thoroughly mixed together, and my cream is ready now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cream mixture and I'm going to add this to the egg and sugar mixture, and then we're going to mix that thoroughly. Make sure that this keeps moving, guys, because if you stop, you'll have scrambled eggs, and that's not what we're cooking today. Okay, so my water is at a light boil. What I'm going to do is stick this mixture over the water, and we're going to mix this, and don't stop. Just keep doing it for about 3 minutes until that's completely mixed in. Okay, so we filled our Pyrex here with just a little bit of water in the bottom. And what we're going to do, I've just transferred this into something that makes it a little bit easier to pour. We're just going to slowly pour this mixture into the ramekin until you've reached almost the top. Now you don't want to fill this too full, because if it gets too full with water, it'll slosh around and then you'll get a little bit of your mixture in with your creme brulee, and that's not what you're looking for. But we're going to take this in just a moment and we're going to stick it in the oven. Okay, so I'm going to stick this into the oven, into the middle rack, and we're going to cook that on 300 for about 30 minutes. Okay, so I've taken this out of the water and I've got them setting here on a rag just to kind of dry out a little bit. You want the top of these to be just a little bit bouncy when you first pull them out of the oven. I'm going to let them cool here for just a moment, and then we're going to stick them in the refrigerator for at least 2 hours to let them completely cool, and then they're going to be ready to add our sugar mixture to the top, and we'll begin the process of caramelizing the top for the crispy shell. While your custard is cooling, you'll want to take about 1.5 tablespoons of brown sugar and about 1/2 tablespoon of white sugar and push this out over a paper towel. That'll allow it to dry just a little bit and take some of the moisture out of it for when we're ready to put it on top of the custard and make our shell. Our custard is fully cooled, and what we're going to do is we're going to take just a little bit of this brown sugar and white sugar mix, and we're going to place that around the top and just kind of spread it out evenly with your hand. So everything's spread out evenly here, and we're going to begin with our torch and and just start caramelizing the sugar. And as you can see around the edges there, it's just starting to caramelize and get hot. Now you just want this to bubble up a little bit, but you don't want to leave it on one spot for too long, or you'll burn the sugar too much and you won't have that great of a taste. It just came out absolutely beautifully, and as you can see, we've just got a hard shell right on the top there with the cold custard underneath. Now if you're doing this for your sweetheart, which I am, you can add a little bit of a touch to it, and I recommend doing this. This is just a little Hershey's chocolate syrup, and I picked up these bottles at a restaurant supply store. They're very cheap. Then I'm going to add a little bit of condensed milk to that. And then, believe it or not, Nestle Quick strawberry. Just add one dot to the center. Then with a toothpick or a barbecue skewer, you can take that and run it right from the top down, and voila, you have a little heart.